Welcome back to the No Shame Podcast. We got three idiots here, except for Bartender smarter than both of us.
Hey
Dumb and Dumberer.
guys!
No, it's Dumb and
Breaking
Dumberer.
news! Breaking news! There is a US fucking led crisis in the Middle East. Porn's still banned in Australia unless you want to fucking use ID verification, letting the government know what you waggle your chicken to. And now Nvidia wants to replace video games with AI. It is a very sad state of
Oh,
affairs.
God. It is.
The world's got complete shit. Like, now, like the biggest story of the week, obviously, has been the new DLSS 5 technology that Nvidia has been trying to force down everyone's throats. But we'll get to that later. There are a couple of things that Wolf and Blaze wanted to bring up first before I bore everyone with the technical details. So if you guys want to start off, go right on ahead.
I'll let Wolf go, and then I'll tell my shit after.
Yeah, right here.
So, as everyone has seen on the internet, Spider-Man: Brand New Day has dropped their trailer.
Yes.
Myself, Blaze, and I'm not sure about Bartender, but I am personally thrilled about this. Okay, you're right. Okay.
I'm thrilled. The problem is that there is not a single movie theater near me for 5 hours.
They're finally adding
For 5
Scorpion
hours
as a
worth of
villain.
driving.
Yes.
Yes.
Finally.
Yes, they're finally adding Scorpion. And it's played by Voss, as
Thank
they initially teased in the first fucking Tom Holland movie.
How many years has it been since they teased it?
What, 2017?
Holy fuck, it's been like
Almost-
I was a
almost-
fucking
almost.
teenager.
I was a teenager when they teased that.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
23 now.
So
Like, I think I
rumors
might have been, like,
rumors
16,
are
17.
that because we are getting what was it you know how we're getting like normal spider webs instead of like having organic
yeah.
spider webs, yeah. So rumors are that we could end up seeing man spider.
Yeah. I have a feeling they might.
Man spider. Yeah. On the topic of Disney as well, we are getting Incredibles 3, already been announced back at D23. But yeah, they announced it back in 2024.
They gave us a release date, kind of.
Yeah, release date is set in June 16th, 2028. And then also we've got a set date for Lilo and Stitch 2, which is May 26th, 2028. Not to mention as well, Netflix have given us our cast for the live-action Scooby-Doo TV show.
They've also given us the cast for the live-action Assassin's Creed movie.
They did.
The Assassin's Creed series, finally. Yeah, and I'm actually kind of impressed that they've gone ahead and gotten, like, fresh faces, which I think is something that, say what you will about Netflix and, always finding to fuck up things here and there, but at least they can actually, springboard new talent every now and then.
Yeah.
Which I think is something that's commendable. So, yeah.
We also got our first teaser trailer for Sonic 4 and some new casting for them. So we got Ben Kingsley joining the cast, Nick Offerman, Matt Berry, and Richard Ayoade. So
nice casting there.
Nice.
Brand new casting. Also, PlayStation are reportedly removing the title and branding of PSN/PlayStation Network by the end of this year. Which is... Yeah. Rumors depict that they could be ending like having another rebrand. So you see how PS Plus had a refresh date back in 2022?
Kind of, yes.
Right, so PlayStation Plus used to simply be you had you pay for your subscriptions. You can pay for a month, 3 months, or a year. Nothing else. There was nothing extra to it. But with PlayStation back then, it was PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now. So with PlayStation Plus, you had your 3 monthly games and online multiplayer access, share play, the lot. That's it. Whereas PS Now was like old games, like you had the collection of PS3 games, PS4 games, like
So like what's
that's it. That like what we have right now, but kind of different. Then back in 2022, they merged PS Plus and PS Now together to make obviously the brand new PS Plus. So the rumors are that they could have a change of state where we could have a new subscription called PS1 or PlayStation 1. Where not only do they want to merge the gaming scene, but also the Sony Pictures core subscription stuff, where they have the movies and TV shows, but also they also promote Crunchyroll now and then. So there might be a chance where you get access to having a subscription to Crunchyroll within your PlayStation subscription, anyways. So that'd be pretty cool.
Of course they would do that because Sony owns Crunchyroll.
Well, there you go. On top of that, everyone is aware that Paramount is buying Warner Brothers, which is no surprise. If you
I thought
don't live on
Netflix
it,
was buying Warner Brothers.
Nope.
nope.
Paramount
Nope.
outbid them.
Oh, okay. So Paramount like offered a bigger bid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's where
That's
things
very
like
interesting.
here's where things are gonna go a little sour for those who are into Warner Brothers and who are aware of it. Paramount reportedly plan to relaunch.
They haven't produced anything well in the past.
Paramount reportedly plan to relaunch. Big keywords right here. Relaunch Multiverses after they acquire Warner Brothers. The relaunch version of the game will reportedly also feature characters from the Paramount library. So we could see fucking SpongeBob fight Shaggy.
Or Timmy Turner fight Batman.
Also on the topic of gaming and branding, Minecraft Dungeons 2 has been announced.
Yes.
Not only that, we have our first. Not only that, we have our first. This. So before I continue, this is for my UK fans, UK people over here. You'll be glad to know that Minecraft World will be opening next year at Chessington World of Adventures. There will be a multi-dimensional themed roller coaster. There'll be themed shops, Minecraft themed food, and Minecraft mob encounters. Yeah, that's all I have right now. Oh, and before I hand it off to the boys, PlayStation servers are concurrently down at the moment. It's been down for the last 2-3 hours now, so it's currently right now 10:47 p.m. to 10:48 right now, on the 21st of March. So by the time this comes out, servers are probably back up, but as of right now, servers are down.
So on to what I want to talk about real quick. I watched the Chainsaw Man movie over last weekend, and it was very good.
You finally got around to it.
Yep, I finally watched
Did you
it.
cry?
No, I did not. I don't understand what part. What part was it? What part did people cry at?
What part did people cry at? The fucking end.
I didn't understand why people were crying at the ending.
Seriously? Because you have to understand, like, so you've watched the series, you've read the manga.
Oh yeah,
right?
I've read the manga, watched the entire series.
Yeah, so you know how shitty of a life that Denji has basically been forced into.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like starting off with paying off his father's debt, to the mafia, and then the mafia turn on him when he's a teenager. And then he becomes Chainsaw Man. But if you really pick up on all of these subtle little cues, he's still just an underling. Like like this fucking lovey-dovey attention that Makima gives Denji is all just a because she's literally just treating him like a fucking dog. And like manipulating him emotionally with affection just to, get him to do her bidding.
I didn't pick up on that.
Well, you'll pick up on that like rewatching the entire series, and if you're up to where I am in the manga, holy fuck you! I'm not gonna say anymore, but you will be angry.
Now,
but like in the case of Reze,
Reza,
she when she grew up, she was basically grown up as a sort of weapon for the Russians. The Russians tried to fuse children with devil DNA. He was basically the bomb devil.
Yeah.
For the Russians, it was an experiment that went wrong. She made an escape, but she also teamed up with the gun devil. So her mission the entire time was to kill Denji, but when she first met him, rather than just killing him outright, she wanted to get to know him. And you know that scene in the pool?
Oh, yeah.
That's where they both basically fell in love with each other. Like, dive in.
Yeah.
The rest of the world outside of the pool doesn't fucking matter.
Yep. Now this,
And you know how, like when she says at the end, like, I never went to school either?
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah. She, like, at the end of the day, like, she never wanted to kill Denji. She fell just as hard for Denji as Denji fell hard for Reze.
And then shit went sideways.
But of course, Marky.
Yep. Okay. Now this part that I'm going to say, I really need your opinion on it because I talked to Wolf about it.
Okay.
I'm going to be watching an anime movie tonight. Don't get turned away by what the title is called. It is I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
No, that is goated.
I told you, Wolf. Really I fucking told you. I told him the title. He instantly took his headset off and walked away.
The title is fucking weird, but it is actually like a beautiful,
I
like,
fucking
sort of
told
romance.
You. I even showed him the trailers for it too, and he's like, "Oh, okay." But when I told him, he's like, took his headset off, walked away, took his pill bottle, and started pouring pills in his hand. I'm like, dude, you need to read the bio, Mate, like the description of the movie before you read it.
Yeah, you need to read the description. Dude, I'm a 26-year-old guy, and I admit to watching romance flicks every now and then.
They're nice to watch.
Got a set of balls.
Like,
give your balls a tug, Wolf.
I'm going to watch it tonight, and I've heard a lot of stuff about it, and I'm kind of nervous.
Ugh. All I will say is, if you're going to watch it, maybe call your girlfriend over to watch it with you.
Oh, I told her I'm going to watch it. And I told her after I watch it, she's watching it with me when I go over to her place.
Yeah. Grab a box of tissues.
Because I told her the title of it, and she's like, oh, that sounds weird. And then I told her, like, the premise, and she's like, oh, well, good luck. But I'm watching that tonight. I'm kind of nervous, but I know I'm going to like it. Other than that, I started my One Piece journey. I'm loving it so far. I'm watching the anime, not the Netflix adaptation.
I watched season 2 of the Netflix adaptation, and I loved it very much.
Yeah, see, it's good. See, the Netflix adaptation is really, really good. Like,
yeah, what a lot of people seem to forget is that Oda, the original creator of both the manga and the anime,
yeah,
is directing the live-action project. Yes, there are some parts that are either sort of diluted or cut out just to save time for, a TV series, like a live action TV series. But at the same time, you're getting the whole story just minus all the filler shit.
Yeah. Because like
and it's
I
written in a world that makes sense.
ooh.
Like fucking.
I posted something on one of my TikTok accounts saying like I'm starting the One Piece journey, but I'm skipping all the fillers. The One Piece community is delusional. They're in my comments saying One Piece has no filler. Someone said if you skip all the filler, you're only watching like 30 episodes. I said, first of all, if you skip all the fillers, you still have 1,028 episodes to watch. Like, they're delusional when it comes to their anime. The amount of hate I'm getting is insane.
Like, they have massive delusions of grandeur for finishing the entire, 1,000 episode season thus far. But, like, at the same time, it is filler. Like, there is filler. There is no single fucking shonen anime on par with Naruto or fucking One Piece that isn't filled with filler. You know what isn't filled with filler? Series like Black Lagoon, series like Precision Classroom, series like fucking
Hunter x Hunter
Chainsaw
doesn't have
Man.
any filler at all. And that's 164 episodes.
I haven't actually seen Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, it's amazing. Fuck. There was some
Like
dude in my
MF
comments.
Ghost is a fucking like Initial D is a street racing shonen.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't have filler.
There was a dude in my comments that said if you skip filler, you'll miss Luffy with an afro, and I just said I don't give a fuck.
I don't care. This is just like two people hanging out. It has nothing to do with the story.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've only just started watching season 2 of Frieren, and just as much as the first season. If there was ever an isekai series, like, say what you will about isekai ones.
Oh yeah.
But there's one really good isekai that I think is done really, really well. It's called Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation.
I've heard about that.
A lot of good or a lot of bad or a lot of somewhere in between.
Some people, there's a lot of good. Some there's a lot of bad that they don't like about it, and then there's some people that are like in between.
See, I think it's really well done. Like, yes, there are a lot of themes that really make you think you're watching like a anime Game of Thrones. Just like really fucking leaning into that sort of like, those anime tropes with certain themes that tie around. But it really is a sort of, it's a story about a guy who was an absolute fucking loser. He was a shut-in, and he was like the worst possible person to his family. But rather than just wading through life same as he would have, he tries to actually do good. So rather than being a fat fucking slob, he actually exercises. He starts helping people out. He is a family man.
But that's really all I wanted to talk about. The big reason I wanted to say what movie I was watching is because when I told Wolf, he's like, I know what Bartender would say if he was here. And I'm glad you backed me up on it.
No, I've watched the movie, and it's fucking goated. Like, I was skeptical at first as well, but then, like, my buddy, forced my hand into watching it, and I'm like, I see, I was drastically wrong. This shit's fucking fire.
That's how I was. I thought it was weird because of the title, and then I saw, like, the trailer. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch it now.
I mean, it was the same thing when I started watching Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions, because like that's like a short little rom-com about like this guy who meets a girl who's like so fucking infatuated with live action role play, and like this dude, like he used to be just as much of like a nerdy outcast as she was, in middle school. But you know, unlike her, he finds it embarrassing, so he's like he's trying to keep his past like sort of shoved to the wayside, but she's just like sort of embracing that sort of nerdy kind of like, you know how, you know, when you're a kid and like you just sort of like lost balls deep into your fantasy, and it's like, you know, people just sort of look at you weird for, you know,
yeah.
pretending to be Harry Potter all the fucking time. Yeah,
Yep.
it's basically that. But holy fuck, does like it kind of hits you home, because like it's sort of like a mirror reflection of yourself in some parts, because like they'll like something will happen to the main character, and like you just start remembering, like you as the audience just start remembering like those moments in middle school where you would have behaved the exact same way, and the way that they animate those emotions of embarrassment just fucking drives the point home. It's like, yep, that's how I feel.
It's like
like you will want to cringe, but that's the whole point.
it's like this anime I've been watching called Hori Mia, where I'm on the episode.
That is another good one.
I'm on the episode where you find out that she likes being called a whore and slapped, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You find out her kink. I'm like, what the hell?
With in front of all those punks outside the 7-Eleven. Yeah. Like,
but it's good. I like the anime.
What the hell is this dude doing here? Poof! Like, he's just as terrifying as she is.
It looks like Wolf has something to talk about.
Yeah, Britney Spears does OnlyFans now.
Who?
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, of course.
I'm fucking.
Oh my god, we went from talking about romance animes to Britney Spears doing OnlyFans.
Only on the No Shame podcast.
And we're 20 minutes in, by the way.
We're off to a great start, guys.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah. That's
Oh my god.
Didn't expect that.
Fuck.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ, celebrity news is just it's dreadful at the moment. Like Britney Spears starting fucking OnlyFans, and Chuck Norris died yesterday.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris is dead.
Wow. Chuck Norris finally gave death permission.
No, he went after death with the scythe. Going back on the Britney Spears thing.
So
is she that desperate for money? Like,
how did this even fucking start? Like, is her pop career literally just down that far down the shitter that she needs fucking porn money?
Alright. That's all I wanted to talk about. So,
there's been a recent influx of players on Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah, and okay, now something that I really want to talk about, and I've already fucking like gone on a texting tirade last night about it. What time is it? This just proves my point. When like the only reason why people like only hang on to like the latest release of Call of Duty is because it's the new thing, and because they spent an exorbitant amount of money on it. The moment Modern Warfare 2019 was being sold on Steam for $6, everyone flocked to it, and guess what? They're all enjoying it, because that's like, as the newer era of COD goes, Modern Warfare 2019 will still be the standard set by Infinity Ward. Good multiplayer, good campaign, and like, you know, good co-op offerings as well. If Call of Duty can just look at Infinity Ward's initial design pillars for how they went about that game, I think they would find major success. But recently, it's become quite evident that they've just been money hungry and greedy for funds. Because we've seen like an entire player base shift from the newest thing to the old thing, and right now, what we're seeing sort of like this weird kind of phenomenon, what I like to call evangelist alienation. But in a bit of a roundabout way. Now, there's like, let me just explain what that is, all right? So there's a term in marketing, evangelists. So basically, I had notes about this somewhere here. So there's a term in marketing, evangelist, like we're basically referring to customers who believe in your product strongly enough to sing its praises to other people on the fence. By the nature of all things video games, like these are typically your first adopters, the ones who are first to play a game, the ones with the most playtime, the ones who stick around after each patch, the ones who are making and administrating those subreddits, Discord servers, and wiki pages for your video game, and the ones who so often hilariously write negative Steam reviews claiming I have several hundred or thousand hours of entertainment from this $20 game that I bought, but now I'm giving it a negative review because there's one patch that removed the feature I cared so much about. Like, but like, you know, if you move further and further away from the initial features and fundamentals that attracted those evangelist customers to your product in the first place, you're gonna encounter what's called evangelist alienation. Call of Duty, you know, it's sort of getting towards that point with like these features that Black Ops 7 has introduced that people still hate, because it's basically just they haven't really done much to change, you know, how Black Ops 6's multiplayer played, and you know, not a lot of people enjoyed that either. Campaign as well. Like it's obvious that, you know, if you want your game to succeed, your campaign, single player campaign, the very thing that, you know, had people hooked on your franchise in the first place, has to be stellar. Not fucking overglorified Warzone tutorial with a couple of discounted Destiny raid bosses tacked onto it. So, like, so of course people are going back to Modern Warfare 29. There's a couple of things. One, it's cheap, and two, it's objectively a better game. And like we saw a similar resurgence with, you know, when Black Ops 2 and the original Modern Warfare trilogy finally made it to Xbox backwards compatibility. People were like going back in droves to those older titles when those games finally made it to backwards compatibility. I think that was when Black Ops 4 was released. We're seeing a very similar phenomenon here. And it's hard to deny, but like, you know, that's the thing. Like player numbers on Steam alone for Black Ops 7 have like dropped insane amounts, and like Modern Warfare 2019 is on the up and up. And you have to remember, it was also the first Call of Duty to have cross-platform play.
Yeah.
So that's just the Steam numbers. Imagine what the numbers are like on consoles with people re-downloading the game and going back to play with their friends on PC. Because like, yeah, things like gunfight, and the multiplayer was actually balanced. The gunsmith wasn't so fucking like overclocked with way too many attachment options at your disposal to just like basically make every weapon handle and feel like the same. The only detractor being the rate of fire. You know what I mean?
I got
It's really weird.
something to say before you go on your big spiel about the new Nvidia stuff.
Oh, all right.
So, people have found the description of the new Resident Evil movie, and it says
Oh god.
it follows a
it
hapless
live
courier. Oh, it's live action. It says it follows a hapless courier tasked with delivering a package to a remote hospital. He soon finds himself caught in the middle of an outbreak and must fight through hordes of mutated creatures to survive. Now, I am sharing my screen so you can see this. This is supposedly what the poster looks like for the new movie.
From the director of Barbarian?
And this is the cast. Well, most of them. Now, with it saying director from Barbarian, I'm kind of scared because I hated Barbarian.
I hated it too.
That was a waste
Yeah,
of money.
They just ruin the fucking every time they do Resident Evil like live action thing. They just ruin it.
Just leave the games alone.
Like
yeah,
they've done a
Netflix
Netflix
have never
like
been good.
Mm-hmm.
they've done a Netflix adaptation TV series, but
yeah, but even that was just complete
yeah,
hogwash.
Just leave the games alone. They're perfect just the way they are.
The only redeeming quality about that Netflix series is that what's his name? The guy who played as the concierge in John Wick.
I have no idea.
I'll look him up.
I still have yet to watch the John Wick series.
It's my tongue. Hold on. Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick was in it. The guy who played as like a key character in Destiny, and Charon, the concierge in the John Wick movies. May he rest in peace. But yeah, like the Resident Evil movies in their live action form have never been good.
No.
Not gonna make this one any different.
Alright, let's hear about the Nvidia stuff you gotta talk about.
Okay, the big news story. So, look, everyone's already seen the new lines this week. Nvidia took to the GDC, the Games Developers Convention, earlier this week, and they showcased their new graphical optimization technology, NVIDIA DLSS 5. And when they revealed it, it came to very, very negative reception from both like video game journalists and users alike. Now, I never thought it would come to a point where, you like video game players and the likes of IGN and GameSpot and Kotaku would actually get along on one subject. But yeah, this isn't a knee-jerk reaction to, something new in the video game space for PC gaming, like as it has been in the past. No, this is everyone getting together and saying fuck artificial intelligence, run,
Yeah.
get it out of our video games. Look, let me just preface this by saying, look, AI definitely has its place in other industries, maybe, but not in the creative space. Not when movies are involved. Not when video games are involved. Certainly not when TV shows are involved. Like South Park have already shown why that's a bad idea.
Yep.
Multiple times. It just does not belong in any kind of creative industry whatsoever because it's just absolute dog shit. Now, look, let me just explain what DLSS 5 is for, console players who may not be aware of what it is, or anyone who doesn't really know what DLSS does at a technical level. So, for PC gamers, you have your GPUs, like your graphics processing cards. they come with drivers, and one such feature for graphics cards since the early 20 series of RTX graphics cards has been a feature called NVIDIA DLSS, which basically an artificial intelligence upscaler that makes calculations to upscale the resolution of video game frames one at a time. It doesn't use generative AI. It's literally just sort of like an algorithm that overclocks the anti-aliasing just to basically enhance the amount of frames that you can generate at any one time, and also still get a decent resolution picture. That's what the idea behind DLSS was meant to be, but now not so much. Look, what DLSS 5 does instead is rather than upscaling the image, it just redraws and rewrites the frames in a video game with a artificial intelligence generated filter, essentially, all behind the idea of trying to enhance, the specular lighting and lighting models within a scene of a video, but it's had the adverse effect of making characters in the foreground look like yassified Instagram filler pushed fucking
Snapchat filler.
it it just looks horrible. Look,
PlayStation have done the
they
same thing,
say
with their recent update.
what PSSR? No, like PSSR is literally just DLSS 4, not DLSS 5. It's just, updating DLSS, well, their version of what DLSS is to the current modern standard. DLSS 5 isn't out yet. It's still got to go. It's just Nvidia trying to sell everyone on their bullshit. Like, you look at PSSR, it's no different to how DLSS 4 on a PC runs. You have nothing to worry about, because that's an upscaler. It doesn't use a 2D AI generated frame drawer. It just upscales. So PSSR, like, you could basically be running a game at 4K, but it won't be native because it's being upscaled with PSSR. It's
Right.
literally, you're still seeing the exact same frames as the developers have basically rendered them through their developer kit.
Yeah.
So you have nothing to worry about there. It's not being redrawn by, like, this is the distinction. So yeah, what Nvidia, especially the CEO, Mr. Hyung, I've completely forgotten his name, Jensen. They're basically stating that what DLSS 5 meant, like what it's intentionally meant to do, is to try
Oh.
in
That
3D space, just to make things a bit more poppy and, stand out. Now, if you actually the initial demo footage that they showed on Resident Evil 9, for example, I don't know why Nvidia decided to, showcase it all on RE9 more prevalently than all of the other games that they showcased, but they are. If you look in the backgrounds exclusively, yeah, that kind of does, serve its purpose. But it also comes at the very expensive cost of basically breaking the biggest rules of animation and the fundamentals of animation, not just in 2D spaces, but in 3D spaces as well. If you have ever done a course in animation or film, or have gone into some
yeah.
ADHD fucking rabbit hole to like watch how people make movies, the backgrounds are literally just set pieces. They're there to set the tone and the mood. They're not meant to like stand out more characters in the foreground and basically steal the spotlight, which is, if that's all DLSS 5 was meant to do, it's still breaking those core principles of setting the scene, even in a video game. Because that same animation principles apply to video games as well.
Yeah.
What my issue is is that it doesn't work on the background, it also works on the characters in the foreground. And they say that it's meant to, enhance, like, add realistic and photorealistic lighting and depth to the characters. But it just makes them look awful. I mean, you look at the side-by-side comparison shots of Grace Ashcroft in Resident Evil 9 that they have shown right on the fucking front page of all of their websites and all of their tweets on Twitter. It just looks like absolute horse shit. They like, you go, because like, I think everyone knows what I mean when I refer to what's called like Capcom face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, this basically raises the whole debate between stylization versus realism. You look every Capcom game, like, with the exception of the Street Fighter games, because they're always kind of like into the, cartoony anime aesthetic. But you look at everyone else, whether it be Hunter, Resident Evil, or
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry. You look at the faces of all of the characters in games, like, as of recently, you'll notice that they're not quite human. They kind of like the facial structure is kind of shaped in the same way that an anime characters would, just with like really hyper realistic facial features, like the individual hairs in one's beard and wrinkles and that kind of. But that's the whole point behind how they were drawn and designed. It's meant to look not quite human. It's meant to look not quite realistic. That's what's known as Capcom face. It's a high stylized version of reality because, let's be honest, I don't think everyone is going to be fucking roundhouse kicking zombies in the face anytime soon if the zombie apocalypse happens. They're not going to go around like Leon Kennedy, like, just having a fucking Tekken street fight with a bloody, disease riddled corpse. No, you're just going to, like, it's like, if realism was something that Capcom was going for, they would be going for something as boring as the Dead games that aren't Telltale games. Just like, imagine how boring Resident Evil would be if that was what they were going for. But no, they go for stylization because that's what they do.
Mm.
And the same goes for a lot of other games. I mean, like, Doom does the exact same thing. It's like, you look at the humans in Doom Eternal, they don't look quite, realistic.
Yeah.
Same for most games. The only, like, games that try to go for photorealism are like The Last of Us, Uncharted, and, Death Stranding. You look at, they've been developed recently, though. Naughty Dog and Kojima Productions have done a pretty fucking good job without the assistance of artificial intelligence to reach, like, graphical heights of photorealism. Uh, but yeah, like, that's just the whole thing between stylization and realism. Like, can you imagine, like, if the opposite were to happen? If you had like a Navi from James Cameron's Avatar, like photorealistic looking as fuck, but
Yeah.
the way that their body moved in the animation was about as like stiff and robotic as they were in like a 90s video game cutscene. Like, can you imagine how uncanny that would look like? That's basically what we're seeing right now. Just like, because characters have been animated in a specific way to that aesthetic for their games. Resident Evil 9 is by no means any exception. There is a clear, like, so, in saying that, there's a clear disconnect between Nvidia trying to sell people on a new thing and, the artistic intent of all the developers of these games, whether they were trying to reach, levels of photorealism or not. Because even with DLSS 5 in a game as photorealistic as Death Stranding 2, for example, you have lighting artists that work on these games that are hired to specifically light up certain cinematics or set pieces that the player can walk about in a specific way to set the tone and the mood, and also, basically build upon the world in that particular environment that the player is in. All right, that that's the same can be said for just about any game that you look at. There are lighting artists, like even Call of Duty. There are lighting artists that work on those games to specifically set the tone and mood of the game environment. When SS5 is added in, it's as if they've just added a fucking like ring light or a spotlight on the characters like in every single fucking scene, and it just completely ruins the mood and tone of those set pieces and scenes. It just doesn't work. Like like Nvidia really just wants to sell this new tech because apparently more realism is better. And I've constantly said time and time again, there is nothing fun or intriguing about realism. I don't go to the supermarket to have fun. I play video games to have fun. Like, because in real life, I have to write up a list of things to go to, Woolworths or Coles or IGA that I need to go and buy. Like, I don't do that for fun. Video games are my fun time. And like it's all about that escapism, and it's also about the artistry behind it as well. Because the video game industry has reached mature levels of storytelling at this point. It's vastly different how it was in the 80s and 90s to now. Like we're actually telling intriguing narratives and stories that are so deep and emotionally impactful. Like they are pinnacle of art. They're like in their own medium. And Nvidia obviously doesn't understand that because again, realism is better in their eyes. Look, I'm not gonna outright reject well, initially I was gonna say that I wasn't gonna outright reject it completely wholesale. You know, halfway through the week after closer analysis, I thought, okay, look, this tech is obviously incredibly underbaked and needs like maybe a couple more years in the oven before it's even ready. And they've already, ruined their first impression of it. If they actually just worked on the tech a little bit more, then maybe they might have sold us on their billion-dollar investment in artificial intelligence. It might have a place in the video game industry. That was until halfway through the week when I took to Twitter and saw that none of the developers that had their games demonstrated in that test footage were even like shown the games running on DLSS 5 prior to the fucking showcase event. And I'm thinking, what in the fuck?
What the hell?
Who in these studios signed up on this shit? You had multiple, like a day after the initial showcase, the initial DLSS 5 demonstration at the GDC, you had like developers in Ubisoft like releasing statements saying we found out the same way you fuckers did. We weren't shown anything. They just asked us, can we use Assassin's Creed to showcase this new DLSS thing? And we just said, yep. They didn't show us a single fucking thing on how it functioned. They didn't even let us on any details. They just showed it.
Damn.
And it's Capcom, which was a significant fucking blow because their game was like right there, like right front fucking center, at the forefront of all of this. It came as a rude shock to them in particular because Capcom as a company are very anti-artificial intelligence. They do not use like AI art or anything like that. So to see their game being used like in that way,
Yeah.
they went fucking ballistic. They were just like, they were having a goddamn attack over there. Like, holy fuck, they're butchering our game. Like, and like, it was after like almost an entire week of backlash. Like Nvidia finally, you know, came out and said, look, yes, it is an AI filter that runs on a 2D plane. Like it doesn't like they want you to think that it runs on 3D geometry and it you know fixes lighting at the geometric level, but it doesn't, and it's quite blatantly obvious that it doesn't because if you actually pay attention to any of that demo footage that they've shown you, notice how none of it is in motion or during really intense gameplay. It's
Yeah.
all just in like static camera angles, just because if they moved rapidly, it would break the fucking AI filter because it runs on a 2D
Yeah.
plane. It kind of flattens the image and just completely removes all depth of the space. Shills that are trying to support this kind of initiative with DLSS 5 and like singing Nvidia's praises over it clearly have no idea what they're talking about, because if they actually paid attention to the finer details, it is literally removing any emotion or tone from those scenes, and it's repainting frames with 2D images with zero depth to them. Like if they just came out and said, like, it's also the vagueness as well. Like they never really specified like how it runs at all. Like initially, they just said, this is what it does. It uses AI to, manipulate light in, 3D geometry and that kind of thing. But, when it came to, journalists pressing NVIDIA on questions like how much control do the devs have over this and all that kind of shit, they just said, oh yeah, devs can control it. They never specified how though. And like when they were further pressed on it, they just said, look, players can turn this off. Yeah, if history has ever taught us anything, when it comes to new graphical features, especially for PC gaming, that's usually never the case further down the line. It
Yeah.
either just doesn't work or it does. I mean, look at frame generation. Basically, given the AAA an exorbitant excuse to just do bugger all in the way of optimization because, frame generation will do it. Like, it happens. It's a tale as old as time itself when it comes to PC gaming. Like if they specifically told us that devs can tell the AI to avoid putting in detail to the faces or skin of characters, like I would have been somewhat satisfied. But they haven't. All we've gotten is blatant statements, and all it's done is just make them sound like, Blizzard Entertainment when they tried to, sell people on Diablo Immortal. Like they've had their own "don't you guys phones" moment, like at the
That was
GDC.
great.
It just looks so piss poor. Like, look, the thing is, most PC players like know how this shit works. They're technologically honed in on how it works. I can't say the same for Wolf though, because he's relatively new.
He's still
But
new, yeah.
generally, most players, specifically PC players, know how things like anti-aliasing and texture filtering works, or how LOD scaling works. So you need to give us specifics and details in everything as to how it works and how devs can utilize it, instead of just showing it off running like it's overclocked on some justified Instagram filter and just showing us stuff. Give us specs, give us details, and like how devs can use it, instead of trying to divert criticism by saying you could just turn it off. But yeah, like they've kind of shot themselves in the foot, because after they've just blatantly admitted that the 2D AI, like a AI generated tool that just rewrites video game frames into a 2D image at 60 FPS or more, like the entire video game community has just turned their back on them. It's not just users, it's devs as well. They like especially Ubisoft especially Capcom, especially if who else had a game that was showcased there? Fucking what did they showcase? Bethesda. Like,
yeah.
well, I can't say the same for Todd Howard because he seems to be quite content in trying to support Nvidia. Yeah, people are turning their backs on Bethesda, like at the moment, over this because of Todd's opinions on this. But like, people are backing Ubisoft in in the way of like, Jesus Christ, they didn't show you any of this fucking video. Like everyone in the video sphere has just turned their backs on Nvidia. And it's an absolute fucking PR nightmare. Their stock is continuing to plummet. Like, it is taking a spectacular nosedive. Like, I could actually look up the Nvidia share price value right now, and it's still dropping.
Oh,
Like,
no.
it has dropped from like, if I look back about a month. No, 5 days ago, it was valued at 185.19 US dollars per share. As of today, at this very hour, it is now currently sitting like at 172.50 and still taking a nose.
Shit.
It is like their stock value has dropped by 5.6%, which isn't a lot, but it's still falling. This is just over a 5-day period. This isn't like to remember, this isn't like stock fucking no, it's not. It is a retail stock, but it's not like crypto coin where the value of it will just drastically fluctuate. No, this is actual fucking stock that you can buy at Walmart or like on some retail share market and taking a nosedive. I don't think I've ever seen a game like anything to do with video games take this much of a spectacular nosedive since the culling. And
Oh. Yeah.
that says something.
Yeah.
So yeah, safe to say, no one, not even the devs or video games news journalist organizations or players, like AI fucking around with their video games. That as much is quite evidently clear.
I
So
just want to tell the audience this spiel has been going on for 27 minutes.
I mean, there's so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about it because like it's you. We have to go on for that long because
Yeah.
it's up to us to try and like scramble for every like minute detail as to how this fucking works when Nvidia themselves can't even do that. Like if they did, I would have just easily said, look, if you want more details, go look at their website. But they fucking have it. Like it's like
Yeah.
But yeah, like how's that fucking $1 billion investment in artificial intelligence gone for you big greens? It's like
Oh, goodness.
going fucking nowhere. Stupid.
Wolf, you look like you've been looking at some stuff. You got some stuff to talk about before we end?
Yeah, he's
No.
got that fucking 1,000 yard stare just going, AI bad.
No. Apart from that, PlayStation is back up online. Yeah. I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Oh yeah. PlayStation might launch its own PC launcher. It would keep all game revenue and
Yeah.
boost. It would boost the ecosystem. It could block titles from
See
Project
that's
Helix.
something.
All that, yeah.
See, that's something that they've been trying to do for a while, and every time that they've brought it up, it has never, been received at all well by PC players because they bring I think I speak for every PC gamer out there that we're sick and tired of new launches propping up every time some big studio or big company wants their video game launcher for the PC marketplace. Like, that's why a lot of other developers that have their own launchers basically just migrated their games over to Steam because they know that's the one platform people are going to be using. Like, yes, Valve has a monopoly on it, but they've done wonders for PC gaming and the democratization of it, like, since the early 2000s. Okay? There's no beating Valve. They know what PC players want. That's why, there's always massive points of contention over, wanting to go to the Epic Games launcher or the Xbox launcher or, EA Play or the Ubisoft Connect launcher over Steam because Steam is PC gaming, always has been.
See, my thing with it, it's like, oh, you can play all these PlayStation games on your computer, but you still can't play Wolverine. You had to buy a PlayStation for it. Or you can't play Spider-Man or whatever, even though it's on Steam.
Oh my god, people.
Yeah.
There's like 7 people
Or
on
we
Highlight
will
right
let
now.
you play these
What?
games on PC, but you have to download this whole other program that's going to fill up your hard drive once
Yeah.
again with caching updates and data caching of its own and all the fucking save data and basically just multiple and like the way that it's going to there are certain launchers that can download games quite rapidly and ones that don't. Microsoft's Xbox or PC, like I find that trying to download games through that is pretty poorly organized because
Oh,
every time I've
yeah.
tried to download a game through Steam compared to the Xbox launcher, it's always downloaded exorbitantly quicker on Steam over the Xbox launcher.
Yeah.
So, of course, what am I going to go for? I'm going to buy the game on Steam because at least I can actually own it. Like shit, and it downloads much quicker. But yeah, it's weird.
Oof.
Um,
Shit.
Look, I'm sure that it might work for them in the long run, but at the same time, players are getting extremely exhausted with more of these propping up and up and up every year. Like we've got enough.
Yeah.
Please don't bring us already like we already are. You have a perfectly good marketplace on Steam, like, and that's I guess that's why studios that aren't specifically owned by Sony wholesale have really done wonders for porting their games to PC. I mean, look at Arrowhead Studios. Not only did they get a PC port for Helldivers 2 on day one, along with a PlayStation launch, they've also ported it to Xbox because they want to make a game that people are going to enjoy. Not a game for everyone, because that's just totally against their motto. But if they want as many people to enjoy the game that they've made as possible, by way of putting it on every possible marketplace, not by making a game for everyone, just making it available to every platform. Kojima has been doing the same thing with Death Stranding. Had it ported over to Xbox not too long ago, the first game, and recently he's ported Death Stranding 2 to PC, just as he did with Death Stranding 1. Whenever I get home to my desktop, you can bet your fucking ass I am buying that shit straight away.
Oh, yeah.
Because I enjoyed the hell out of Death Stranding 1. I am going to love Death Stranding 2. But
That's a game I need to play.
it's funny though, because Kojima Productions, they're not a Sony first party studio for PlayStation. That is been laid out on the ground as much. You look at fucking this new project, OD, that he's working on. That's an X exclusive. That's not getting a PlayStation launch. anytime soon. I know Fizzant, this other new project, might get a PlayStation launch. I don't know if it's going to be port Xbox, but yeah, definitely going to be launching on PlayStation and then maybe eventually PC. But yeah, like OD, not Microsoft exclusive. They've already made that quite um, solid.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting how that works. So there really is no need for a PC launcher when you've got studios that are making games for platform, but also other games for other platforms that are competing with each other. So do you either want to, easily reach an entire market of people or give people cause to just, be driven away because they need to download more shit?
Yeah.
It's like, I just want your game, not fucking another launch on top of the cavalcade of launches that I already have. It's stupid.
Well, I got nothing else to talk about. Wolf.
Yeah, neither do I. No.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I hope you enjoyed that spiel that
Ugh.
Bartender went on.
I hope that at least, gives you some detailed insight as to how NVIDIA DLSS works and
Yeah.
why people are fucking hating the guts out of it.
All of our socials
Because I
will be
sure
down
as hell do.
below.
Fuck artificial intelligence and creatives, but
Merch
like,
link
it can
down
work
below
in
as
other
well.
industries. I'm content with that.
Yeah. Merch link down below. We just dropped our Easter stuff. If you want to buy some ulti, you can use all of our codes. Like my code is Blaze, then you got Wolf's, which is Undead Wolf, and then you got Bartender's code, which I can never remember.
Pub feed.
Yep.
That is my ulti code. Pub
That's
feed.
his code. You can use all of our codes if you want. Check out MercClan M3RKCLAN.com. Join the Discord through there. And if you join, you can use MercClan's code, which is just Merc. Other than that, like and subscribe. All that good stuff. Peace.